Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching our one-on-one YouTube series, joined by former Packers fullback John Kuhn. John, the last 2 weeks, very much different than the 3 before that. What would you point to as the main culprit?
Well, everybody a little bit. Coaching, the schemes have not been as sound as they were in their 3-game stretch, and playing, players have not executed at a high enough clip. We've seen a couple turnovers as we did in the Giants game, and in this past game, you lacked that execution in the red zone where Tampa was very strong there. So you got to be able to make the big plays on the money downs. That's third down and in the red zone.
And speaking of the money down, the Buccaneers, I believe 7 of 12 on third down. Baker Mayfield gashed them. Matt LaFleur committed to Joe Barry as defensive coordinator the rest of the season. Why is that a good idea in your mind? Well,
because you're not out of the playoffs yet. Remember, as long as you have a chance to make the playoffs, you got to keep this thing together. Even if it's held together by rubber bands right now, you start putting some plaster behind that. You start firming that thing up because they've already won 3 games against 3 quality opponents. Now they got to do it one more time to get into the playoffs. You can't make any changes right now. And we signed these guys up for a full 17-game season. Let them get 17 games and judge it all at the end.
From your perspective down on the field, what did you see? Why wasn't that defense playing to the best of its ability on Sunday?
Well, there were some missed assignments, no doubt, and you saw that quite a bit. But, Tampa did a great job of getting their stars matched up against some of our players that were favorable matchups for them. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans got themselves running through the zone, middle of the football field, a lot of times underneath some zone coverage of some linebackers, and they were able to scheme up our secondary on the back end. And those are 2 exceptional players, and Baker Mayfield now has some weapons that he's throwing to, and that's why he's resurrected his career.
Is zone defense the right defense for this team?
Well, I think zone defense is a defense that defenses run, and so is man defense, and you got to kind of roll with the punches and ebb and flow. And sometimes it's tough, and when other teams get paid too, they can keep you on the ropes just as easily as you can get them on the ropes. Look, we beat Kansas City, we beat the Lions. I'm sure they said to themselves after those games, what the heck went wrong? We're doing that right now with the Greenbay Packers. We'll see if they can get it back on track.
And speaking of that, you got to go to Carolina and win. Again, a team that you think you should beat. 2 wins, but you said it's not that easy.
Well, I'd caution yourself right now if you think Packers are just going to roll into Carolina and take this thing by getting off the bus. Carolina fired Frank Reich, and since then they played their 2 best consecutive games of the season. And this past week they took it to an Atlanta team, albeit in a monsoon. They took it to an Atlanta team that many people thought was ready to make a push to win in that NFC South.
So what does Green Bay need to do better these final 3 weeks to win out and give themselves a chance to make the postseason?
I think number one thing is they all got to buy in. They all got to believe, and they all got to be in it together. This team was rolling for that 3-game stretch. They were having fun. They were smiling. They were high-fiving each other. They were loving playing the game for one another. If they get back to that, this team will have a chance to make the playoffs.
98% chance that they win out is what the New York Times says if they win out. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. Do you think they win out? Do you think they make the playoffs?
Well, if I'm judging them by their last game, I would say no. There was many things that was wrong in this last football game, but this is what makes the NFL so special. It's a week-by-week business, and next week means nothing compared to the week before. This Packer team needs to find a way to get a win desperately, and just by getting one, you can get that feel back to put yourself on a roll to get 2 or 3.
Next 2 games on Christmas Eve and on New Year's Eve. I believe you've played on holidays in the past. Is that fun or is that annoying?
Well, Christmas Eve's definitely more fun than Christmas Day. Thanksgiving's a heck of a lot of fun because you're always doing it in Detroit. But, man, there's something about these holiday games when you know everybody's watching and your family's at home waiting for you to come home and they're watching Daddy on this TV screen saying, come on, let's get this win so we can really celebrate Christmas.
I remember you said that the turkey tastes better on Thanksgiving when you win.
It definitely
does, yep. Are the presents that much better on Christmas when you win, too?
Well, the roast beef. We do a roast beef.
Okay. Thanks for watching our WLUK one-on-one YouTube series. You can subscribe. Just head to our YouTube page, WLUK Fox 11.